This is part of the Ultimate WordPress website tutorial. The full tutorial can be found in the description below. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so the final thing we're going to move on to now, just to finish up, is SEO. Now, SEO is something that is massively overlooked, for websites, and it's rarely ever done in tutorials. I'm not going to go in depth to all the different things you can do for SEO, and some people claim that thanks because of ChatGPT and Google AI and all those things like now, SEO doesn't matter as much anymore. But the truth is, even just from the perspective of how you show up on Google when people find you matters a lot. And if you don't edit it, you're going to show up very poorly, and you're definitely not going to show up in search or ChatGPT or Google AI or anything like that. So you want to still do the foundations of SEO, and that's what I'm going to show you guys how to do. So all we need to do is we're just going to go back to our dashboard here, and then we're going to go to plugins. We're going to add one last plugin. And then we're just going to type in SEO. I'm going to find Yoast SEO. So this is the one that I recommend. As you can see, 10 million downloads. It's easily the most popular. And then we're just going to type in install now. We're going to hit install now. And then activate. Okay, so let's start with the configuration like this, as they're suggesting. Probably easier for you guys if I step you through this. So we're just going to hit start configuration. Let's start by running the SEO data. This means you'll scan your site and create a database optimized. Yeah, okay, we can do that. So yeah, we're going to go through and do it a bit deeper than what it's asking to do here, but we'll go through and fill out some of this. So the first thing we want to do is just choose organization in most cases, because if you're a business or everything, company, whatever, you're going to choose that. But if you're a person, in terms of like a coach or whatever, you're going to choose person. Okay, and then your website name can just be physio.oz.com.online, whatever it is. And then the organization name, we can change that to Physio Oz, because that's your real name, Physio Oz, like that, whatever your organization name is, your business name. And then a logo, yep, we can add that. So we're just going to add this one here. So this is just helping when you're found on Google. And then if you have a physical location, you can add it, but let's just leave that for now. And then social profile. So here you would just add, okay, obviously I don't have any, so I'm not going to add any, but you could add Facebook, Twitter, different ones like that. Save and continue. And then personal preferences. You don't really need to worry about that. And then save and continue. And then finish configuration. Cool. So that's just the basic stuff there. We're probably going to go through and change things anyway from our end, but let's go through and do that now. So we're going to just go to all pages here. And then you're going to go to your homepage. And instead of clicking edit with Elementor, we're just going to go this edit one here, because this will take, because what this has done now is taken us to, so this is where you would build out a website through WordPress's editor and everything. And as I've said, I'm not the biggest fan of it. But let's go to here. So we press a little, so there'll be a little Yoast SEO thing here like this. And we're just going to press down on it here, on this one. And then it's going to come up with this here. So this is exactly why I say that you want to do it yourself, because right now, this is how this website would show up on the internet, on Google search. It would say home-physio.online, and then this here just saying that it'll make its own up if we don't generate it. So what we want to do is go through and generate our own title. Now, it looks like they've got their own SEO version. Yeah, I'm still going to trust ChatGPT more than that. So, but the focus keyword for this would be physiotherapy. So we would pick that you would pick one focus keyword, whatever you're built around, whatever your business is. So I'm going to say that, and let's just see what they even come up with. Okay, so they make you pay for it. So I thought that would be the case. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to ChatGPT, and we're going to do it better than I'm guessing they're going to do for us anyway. So I just want to go back to ChatGPT, and then I just want to go back to ChatGPT, and you're going to open up the last tab you had open where you were talking about your business. Ideally, there's a rule of thumb. You probably know how to use ChatGPT already, or a brief understanding, but you just want to, every new chat, if you're going to talk about the same thing, like your business starting, and we did all this here, best off to just stick with that same thread again of talking to it about it. Okay, so we've got this here, and now I'm just going to say, we're going to get its help with writing SEO. So I'm going to go through and just say, I'm going to have prompts for you in the free download pack, but I'm just going to do it live here for us. So we're just going to say something like this. Can you please now help write the SEO homepage meta title and description for this business? And then we're going to get a few variations. So I'm going to probably say that. Okay. So I'm just going to say something like that. Cool visualize. Awesome. Cool. So one little rule of thumb, just depending on if this is just an example for this business here. So these would be perfectly fine. I'm looking through these now. These would be perfectly fine, any of these to use. But I'm just going to give you an example of, just say you were located in a certain location. So maybe you're in Melbourne, Victoria, Melbourne, Australia. Just give me an example of a city. And you would, obviously, if you're a physio, you're only going to be serving people around Melbourne and likely around a certain suburb. So let's just say that you wanted to do it in Melbourne, the city. And so we're just going to tell it now, could you adjust these so they include Melbourne, the business's location in the title for SEO. Cool. So here we go. Look at that. So physiotherapy and pain relief in Melbourne. And look at that. That one, what we got here, expert physiotherapy and pain recovery in Melbourne, physiotherapy and pain, injury and rehab in Melbourne. So I'd probably like this one the best. So we're going to go with that. I'm going to say very strong. Yeah. That's not bad either, though. Trusted, but then it doesn't have other keywords. I'd probably honestly go with this one, and then so we're going to put that SEO title in there. So look at that, awesome. And then we're going to go through this one here and just put that in there again. Awesome. So notice we've got physiotherapy. We've got the focus keyword up here, physiotherapy, and that's now how it's going to look. Pretty happy with that. Okay, so all that is done now. So we've got our title, we've got our meta description, and we've got that one there. We'll just leave that as it was. And then, as you can see, now we've got physiologist, expert physiotherapy, pain and recovery in Melbourne, and personalised and very about Melbourne. So we've got keyword at Melbourne, so we're going to show up for that. And then we're also going to show up for, these keywords here, physiotherapy. We've got it as our focus keyword. You'd be amazed how much of a difference just adding SEO, like this basic, meta title or meta description on your homepage can have. In the past, I've done, SEO work for businesses and things like that. And I always do it as part of my build anyway for a website, but I've done like as an individual job or for clients or, more deeper things, deeper SEO. And, it always, it can be amazing how much of a difference just simple things like this can make. So that's why I wanted to add it quickly here for you guys. So what you're going to do once you've done that is hit save. And then I'll very quickly show you one last little thing, just so you understand how to do it for certain pages. So we just did it for our homepage. Now we want to do it for our contact. So we're just going to go through to here. Sorry. We're just going to go through to edit. And then look, it's remembered to bring this up for us, which is awesome. And we're just going to make physiotherapy the focus keyword again. What's going on here? Therapy. And then I'm just going to ask, or good old ChatGPT, to do one for the contact. Yep, cool, that'll do. And then the meta description, so we're just going to put that. So we want to delete all this, put that in, and then meta description, put that in, and put that there. Okay, so we just want to make sure you leave slug as it is, because that's how, see how we've got, if we go to contact, we've got here. Oh, anyway, you got /, so that's what that there is, like how it shows up as a / contact. So if you put this here, it would be / all that there. So we just want to make sure we don't edit this one. Okay, so that's done. And look, we'll go in the greens, which is awesome. And, already done that now for a contact page. So obviously, then you're just able to go through, do that for all your other pages. And yeah, easy as that. So we're just going to hit save. And then there we go. So we're just going to go back and back to dashboard. Okay, so that is essentially done for the SEO. Now, it's a very basic form of SEO, but it's arguably one of the most foundational and important ones. So we could go a lot deeper, but I might save that. I'll save that for another video, because it could go on for another few hours if we went really deep into, SEO and other things you can do. So we're going to end it there, but you've already done well ahead of most people when they first start their own website. So many people just overlook SEO, but now you've got that down pat and you've officially got a fully functioning website.